Hello all, welcome to Global Offensive Hacker Associate community and welcome to another hacking episode of Hacker Associate. In this video, we are going to learn about serialization and deserialization attack, and the last part which we are going to see here is SSH infinity loop. So I'm going to teach you how to perform a privilege escalation using SSH infinity loop. So using our public key which we are going to put it there on the remote machine, and then using our private key we are going to log in to the system. So this class, or we can say this session, is very interesting. So please pause the video properly, and if any doubt, any problem, any issues, you can put on the comment section. So right now today I'm going to take this machine code is in Tenet, okay, and right now this machine is listed under the active machine, and we're going to see how we can hunt for this, and how to identify vulnerability and how we can exploit it. So let's begin. I am Harshad, founder and CEO of Hacker Associate. Let's start. So the IP address of this machine is 10.10.10.23, and if you can check here, as usual, what we are doing, under this section, right? VA and PT. We first ping the machine, and pinging is working fine. After that, we will use nmap command. So I'll leave this thing to you. You can use nmap minus v minus capital A 10.10.10.223. Okay, you can put minus o capital A and any file. Okay, example, let's say port underscore scan, and press enter. So automatically create a file port scan, under various format. Okay, so minus OA, it means all format. So you'll be getting like gnmap, nmap, and xml file. Then you can convert into html. That part I'll leave to you. So basically when you scan this machine, you'll be seeing these ports open there. So when I go to my Chrome, so let's open the Chrome. So I use this command in order to scan this machine 10.10.10.223, and I have identified port 22 is open, port 80 is open. Okay, it means a web service is running there and SSH service is running there. Let's see. Try to open this one on port 80. So when I try to do here, just type 10.10.10.223. You will be seeing here like some kind of web server is running on this particular IP address. So when you go to this section, you will not get any single thing. So what I have done here is I simple click on this section called view page source. When you click on view page source, and generally I'm searching like this link, so href, and here if you can check here, we have a 7 section, and under this I'm just checking the links. So we don't have any other link in this 4 section. If I go here, next, so here some information regarding to this Apache. So go next, and here again is mentioned there. So I can try to search these links whatever is available there, but I didn't identify any single thing on this particular IP address. So what I have done is I have performed a directory brute forcing. So this always we do when we start PT on that. So simple, I will go to the OPT directory and I'm going to use ffuf, this script. In case if a difficulty, if you not use ffuf before, then you can watch my previous video on this, how to use ffuf, how to use bub suite properly. It means how we can merge it, how we can integrate ffuf with bub suite. So that part I have already recorded the video. You can please check on my video room. So if you go to our website hackerassociate.com, you'll be getting a video there. You can simple go to the video room and you can simple look into this particular video. So here is the resources, and here you can see video room. That video room you can click, you'll be getting a link there. So I'll leave this thing to you. So let's start with ffuf. So if you can check what exactly it is here. So we have a ffuf. How to run it? You can simple just type help command. So here is a help, and this is the syntax of this command. So I'll use ffuf. Then we have a minus u for URL, which is http, IP address 10.10.10.223, and then I want to fuzz this application. So fuzz the last part, and then minus w, which is under OPT. We have a word list, and after that I have a sec list. Then we have a discovery, then we have a web directory to big.txt. When you press enter, and just wait for the output. So let me just zoom for you this thing. So here I use like FFVF for directory brute forcing, and I am just waiting for the output, and you can see I got WordPress here. This is the directory I got it there. So I can simply immediately Control Z and close it, exit from here. Okay, and I can immediately jump to my Chrome. I can simply go here, okay, and just type 10.10.10.223/WordPress and press enter. Okay, that's how you enumerate the things. So enumeration is very important, okay, in the terms of penetration testing. So here, okay, we can see clearly we have a beautiful page here, and if you can check, okay, look like a static page, okay, there's nothing here. So what I can do here is I can simply try here and click on your view page source. So last time, okay, we went to the IP address and we have done view page source. Now this time, okay, uh, we are doing, okay, under the WordPress. Okay, so I identify the directory I am, okay, putting after that IP address. Okay, and then I am, okay, doing a view source, and you can see clearly we have the domain name available there, collision tenet.stb. Now here, okay, some comment sections are available there. As you can see here, href, the links are available. Let me try to open that link and check it out what exactly it is there. So when you try to open this page, okay, and when you look, okay, for the comment section here, so this is a description, and we are looking for beta tester for our new time management software, and after that some information here. We didn't identify any simple information. Please bear with us. Whitelist is log, something is going on, and if you can check, the other links are mentioned there. So if you can check the other links. So first, from this point of view, what I can do here is I can see clearly, okay, we have a tnet, this domain is available there, right? tnet.stb. So I'll make an entry under the host file. So if you can check my host file, I have already made an entry under this. So cat etc host file. You please make an entry here, okay, 10.10.10.223, and then this particular domain called tenet.stb. After that, what you can do here is you can try to open this link, because there are many links. That's how we need to go, okay, one by one, until we'll not get a proper information. So I'll go here and I'll check it out. So if you can read from this section, and here, okay, you can see some text written there. So when you read the text, did you remove the setter.php file and the backup? The migration program is incomplete. Why would you do this? Did you remove the setter.php file and the backup? The migration program is incomplete. Again, okay, some same text is available there. So from this point, what I can conclude here is talking about backup file, is talking about PHP file. So I can immediately go to my Sublime editor and I can make a note here. Okay, we require this file and we require this file. Okay, back, because it's talking about PHP and talking about backup file. I'm not sure about this, okay, but it is trying. I'm trying like that. So if you can check here, let me close all the tab, otherwise you will confuse. So close everything, start from the fresh. So this time, okay, I'm going to use the domain, and here you can see we call as a tenet.stb, and I'll use setter.php file and check it out to identify anything or not. So nothing is available here, and if you just try here .bak, and here you can see also we didn't identify a single thing here, right? So unable to identify anything regarding to the PHP and back file. Now what next we can do? So here you can see here we have a domain which is called tenet.stb, right? So we can look also for, okay, subdomain here. So how we can identify the subdomain of that particular domain? So you can use varieties of tools are available there, but if you want to do manual testing, like as I am doing here, then you can use GoBuster. Okay, GoBuster, you can use -h, and let me zoom for this part, and you can see clearly we have, okay, this virtual host option is available there. You can use GoBuster again. GoBuster, you can use vhost and then -h for help. And here you can see you'll be getting a lot of details here. Okay, how you can identify the subdomain. So I always maintain my cheat sheet for all this kind of CTFs. So I'll go here, Sublime CTF Kali, and I will go to my GoBuster cheat sheet, which is here. So what I want to do, I want to perform a vhost brute forcing. So I'll use my cheat sheet here, and that command I'll copy. Okay, and once you try with this section, you can simply paste it, and I will remove this option because the location of my word list is different. So here, okay, like I am enumerating this domain called tenet.stb, and after that I use a word list, which you can see clearly U for URL. So here's a U for URL and W for the word list. So W my OPT, I have a word list, I have a sec list, and after that I have discovery, we have a DNS subdomain, okay, 20,000.txt. When you press enter and start, so you have identified, okay, there is a website called www.tenet.stb, and when I run this thing along for longer time, I didn't identify single information here. So what I have done here is, okay, see, there is information regarding to this setter something, right? That part, okay, we've identified previously. So what if, okay, if I add this thing, okay, in our host file. So I want, okay, like the IP address 10.10.10.223, and I will try to put, okay, this domain setter dot, we have a tenet.stb. This is also possible, right? Because we can assume like that, okay, maybe setter is a subdomain of this, and then we can try like that. So I am trying this thing and I got a success, okay, after, okay, making this entry, okay, under the host file. So I'll show you once again, okay, my host file, and I'll close it because I have already tried, okay, for long time I didn't identify a single thing here. Okay, so Control Z, and we move to the cat etc host file. Okay, so I'm not using a Kali machine, this is my Mac system. Okay, so sometimes people ask me question, okay, Rashid, what kind of operating system you are using, because this shell, okay, we don't have any other thing, right? So I'm not using Ubuntu, I'm not using, okay, Kali, I'm using my best system as a Mac. Further, if we can check here, we have a 10.10.10.203, we have this one. Okay, this I have already made an entry. Now let's try with this one. So if I try here, setter.tenet.stb, when you look into this, so you can see we have a same page available again, just like, okay, we got the previous one. But here the interesting part here is, if we try, okay, this one, if I go to this section, let me a little bit zoom out from this option. So if you can try here setter.php, you will be getting an interesting thing here. You can see clearly we are grabbing a user from the text file, and this is a database updated. Okay, now what I can identify, I can simple type, okay, dot back. Okay, and here you can see this is the backup file, okay, available there, right? That backup file, try to read this information, okay, from here. So we got the backup file successfully as per the conversation, okay, whatever we identify on the view page source. Now next, not next, what we can do based on this thing. So what we can do here is, I will go to Sublime, and here is my temp folder where I have a backup file. And if you read the backup file, okay, you will be getting this thing, okay, like is a PHP and opening and closing statement. It is now, you can see the class is declare database export, and we have public user file which is called user.txt, one file is there, and then data which is empty, and then we have a update function, and it is grabbing a user from text file which is we have here, and success. Okay, so I'm just, okay, just checking what exactly it is going on. And if you see, okay, like this function destruct, okay, this function is vulnerable. So if you know a little bit about the PHP serialization deserialization tech, this one destruct, second one is backup, okay, these all functions are vulnerable. So I can understand, okay, from this point of view, this is vulnerable function, and you can immediately search on Google PHP serialization and PHP deserialization attack. So in my case, okay, if you can go further here, like file put content, so you can see putting a content, okay, on this slash directory, and whatever we have a file here, user.txt, and then data, whatever we feed here. and then it's going to update the things. After that, okay, it is taking an input which is called as an A repo. So you can see, like, now when I read, okay, this particular code, okay, from line 1 to line 23, I understand, okay, the functionality of this particular code. Okay, that's how you can review the code. After that, okay, like what I can do here is I'll, okay, construct my own payload here. So you can see clearly I have created the same file called as a harshad.php file, and here you can check, okay, like I made an entry. So you can see this is my class, the same like, okay, whatever we have here in the backup. So this is a class. Then I use the same copy paste function here. You can see this part, okay, I will use copy. So I copy the entire function whatever is available here, and I have added, okay, under this harshad.php. They exact the same. Only thing is, if you can check here the backup file, there is no data. Okay, so in my case, okay, like what I have done here is I have added, okay, like this reverse shell, and I am listening on the port 5555. Okay, so let me show you the my IP address also to you. So example, if you just type if config command, and you can see my IP address is 10.10.14.24, and I'm using the same 10.10.14.24. Okay, which is, you can see clearly 5555. Okay, and I'm listening on 5555 port number, and after that what I'm doing here is I'm, okay, encoding the entire things whatever is here. Okay, so this part, okay, little bit tricky, because if people don't have any idea regarding to the PHP and then coding part, then, okay, might be, okay, you'll be getting a difficulty in this particular section. But I'm trying to explain, okay, each and every function as well as the code here. Okay, so what I did basically, I have added, okay, harshad.php file. Basically this is the PHP file which I can see here, right? It means I have created the PHP file, I have added this code, okay, inside this PHP file, and then I'm going to interact, okay, using a php -a command. So example, let's say if you go to the terminal, you can simply just type this command php -a. So this is kind of interactive shell, okay, you can see just like, okay, we are using a Python, right? Python, and then press enter, you'll be seeing, okay, like this interactive shell, okay, here. Example, it's I'll split this thing horizontally. So if you type, okay, this command like Python, let me just wait for it. So example, let's say this. So you can see you're getting this kind of thing, right? The interactive shell, the same way, okay, we are using a PHP. So I'll use exit from here, Control L, clear the screen. So this is my interactive shell, as you can see clearly. Now what I can do here is I can copy paste, okay, this thing whatever I have here. So this is a file harshad.php, and what I can do here is I will try to encode this thing. So I can simply copy that part, okay, and then going to paste it here. So here you can see, so almost it is done. So when you press enter, you will be seeing, okay, like this kind of code is coming there, right? That code, that part. So what I can do here is I can simply copy that code, okay, copy this part, and you can paste, okay, this thing. This is a URL encoding whatever we have written there, okay, in this function, right? Class database export. So create a new file, and I'm going to paste this one. Okay, so you have, okay, this code, right? Now we don't know where we can add this thing, right? So if you check, okay, this setter.php backup file is here. So it's talking about a repo, right? We can clearly see here a repo. So what do you mean by this? So let me show you one thing here, like http we can try http, and then after that we have this setter.tenet.stb, okay, then we have a question mark, then we have a repo, which I'm talking about, okay, this part, a repo, which is equal to, which we are going to put it here, this code. So let's try to browse this thing, okay. So this is my guess, okay. So as per, okay, this code, which you can clearly see, the input is taking, okay, this one as in get, you can see is for input, and then we have a repo. So that's how we can construct the things, okay, to construct the URL. So we have a repo equal to something something here. So now what I can do here, I can copy this thing, the entire one, and try to paste, okay, there inside this I will go to the Chrome and open a new tab and check it out what exactly going to happen there. So paste. If everything okay, you will be seeing the thing. You can see successfully, I think, loaded. Our page is loaded. So let me once again try. Let me check the code. So pen testing is like keep trying. Okay, I'm not sure about this. So let me try once again. And before this, okay, what I can do here is I'll open a new tab and start listener. And let's see, okay, we'll be able to get the shell around NC minus L 5555 and then press enter. Okay, and I'll go to the my tab number 1, which is here. So once again I'll try to write, okay, my own this thing. So we have this link. Let me just try HTTP, and then we have this setter.stb, and we have a file actually, this setter.php. okay, that part we need to use, okay, this a repo, right, that part, and now which is equal to whatever we have here, this thing. So here I made one mistake here. If you can check, okay, I need to correct this part. So after this I need to use this setter.php and then question mark we have a repo. This is how the URL is going to construct, which is equal to whatever we have here, and then paste. So again, if I go to the Chrome, so I think this is perfect, and I need to only copy this thing. So let me copy that part and then press enter. Okay, let me verify everything. So I'll copy each and everything from here, and I'll try to press enter. If everything okay, we'll be getting some information displayed there, or successfully we got the thing. You can see grabbing user from the text file. Fantastic. So we got the thing, and as I mentioned there, right? So this is the basically the URL which we are going to see. So example, let's see if I paste here. So these are exact the same. So we have constructed the URL and we have added, okay, whatever the function is going on here, right? A repo, that part, and we got, okay, like the message you can see clearly which call is a grabbing user from the text file, database updated and database updated again 2 times. Now what next we can do here is we'll try to get the shell. So the entire thing, as we know, this is called harsha.php. if you can check there, so basically this is called as an harsha.php, right? So that part, okay, I will try to invoke because it's kind of shell upload. So if you upload the web shell, we need to invoke it, right? So how we can invoke this shell? Simple, you can simple just type 10.10.10.223, but this is not a case. In our case, we have this setter dot tenet.stb, and after that, okay, we need to invoke harsha.php. That's how we need to check, right? If it is there, okay, you will be seeing the shell. So I think you can see it is like processing, and it means, okay, it is a good sign. And now if you can check here in this case, so if you can check from here, if I go to this section, I think we have a netcat listener which is here NC, and if I just type id command, you can see we got the shell. Now here is not a proper shell, okay, we have, right? So I need to check, okay, like Python is there or not, Python minus minus version, and here I got the hint collision, you have Python 3 installed. Now what I can do here is Python 3 minus C single quote, I'll use import pty and then termination pty dot spawn spawn slash bin slash bash single quote close. If everything okay, if syntax is correct, then okay, we'll be getting a prompt. Fantastic, this we got it. Now if we type ls command, you can see there are varieties of directory, and we have our file harsha.php, and here is a WordPress directory. Let me check, okay, directory part ls minus ll, and here you can see this is clearly, this is a directory, it's called D. So cd WordPress, ls, and if you can check, in this case we have lot of thing available there. Let me try to config command, wp minus config dot php. I'll try to grab the password. So we got the password here, you can see opera 212, and what's the username. Okay, so if you try to cat this file, wp minus config.php, or you can simple grab user. For example, let's see if I use the same command, cat wp minus config.php. I use grab, sorry, the wrong command I've used. Okay, we'll directly type this command, wp minus config.php. We'll use grep minus I user. Let's check it out. So we have a user called this nil. Okay, so copy, and that part we'll put in Sublime for further attacking things. Okay, privilege escalation. So right now we have a user, this is called as in this. Okay, and we have a password, which is, you can see clearly the password, which is we got it here, is opera 2112. So copy that password also. This is the password. So right now we have everything, username and password. So we know already the SSH is the SSH port is open there. So SSH, we have a user called this nil at the rate. We have IP, which is we have a tenet.stb, and then password. So let me copy this command. Go to terminal and then try to open a new tab. And do the SSH. So I'm hoping, okay, like yes, it is there, and we got the password prompt. Now finally we need to try the password, which is opera 212. So we'll copy it, okay, to avoid the typo error. Paste and then enter. So we successfully logged in, okay, to the machine, and if you use cat user.txt, you have your flag. So we just type ls, I think user.txt, that part is there. Okay, so I'll not use this one, okay, because it's active machine. You can try it from your own. So I'll upload this video, okay, once this machine retire. Now what we can do next, so we'll just try, okay, to run this command sudo -l for privilege escalation. So here you can see this guy have a permission to run this file, which is called user local bin enable ssh.sh. Let me check we are able to read this file or not. So if you can check here, copy, and if you can just try here paste and then enter. So here you can see clearly, okay, so this is the file. When I use cat command, I have the complete information about this. So if you can check the last part, which is very interesting here, okay, so you can see clearly it is a variable temp name. Something is going to happen, okay, under the temp directory, okay, and then ssh something. After that, okay, you can see clearly it is copying, okay, to the root directory the keys. What keys? Ssh keys, and then immediately is removing the things. So here the problem here is, okay, like it is creating something in temp, and then, okay, it is copying under the root, and after that is removing. So in this case, what we can do, so I am going to run an infinity loop, okay, and I am going to add my key there, okay, inside that particular temp directory. Let's see how we can do that. So I'll go here and same terminal, I'll split horizontally, and after that what I can do here is I can simply go to my directory where I have a public key located, okay, that contain id rsa.pub. So I'll use cat id rsa.pub, and you can see clearly this is the public key. You can simple copy that key from there, okay, so copy this key, this is a public key, right, and I want to run the infinity loop. So how we can run it? So I'll use exit from here, and first I'll copy this key, okay, to my subline so I can easily write the things. This is my public key, by the way. So what I can do here is I can simple just type the command call as an echo. Before this I want to run infinity loop, right? So while true, that's how we run, okay, infinity loop, and then we use do what you want to do. So I want to do echo and then the key, which is you can use right click and paste. Fantastic. And you can see I'll use the double quote to close. After that, as per the script, as we know, okay, it is something is going to happen, okay, under the temp directory. I use a T command and I use temp slash ssh star, okay, because if you see the script file, okay, it is there, okay, ssh minus something something something. So what I can do here is I use slash temp ssh star, and I will use this greater than, and I'll put to null, dev null. Okay, so by the way, nothing is there in this, and then after that, okay, I'll use done. This is called batch scripting. So what will happen, okay, here is going to add my key, and this is infinity loop. Okay, this is very interesting part. And now when you press enter, you can see it is keep running. Okay, and now if we can try to log in to the root, we have a successful login. So what I can do, I can simply split horizontally and try to log in as a root. Okay, so here my infinity loop is running, and now I am going to log in, okay, with my private key. So cd slash user, then we have a harsha, then we have dot ssh, then ssh minus I, and then we have id rsa, and then root at the rate tenet.stb, and if everything okay, we'll be getting a shell. So I think it's not done properly. So let me just type, I think just let me check what exactly is the issue with this. So let me try one more time. So we are getting the same prompt again and again. So this key is not copied properly, so I have no idea what is going on there. Let me check, okay, like any error which I have done, anything. So while true, syntax is okay, we will do echo ssh key, we have copied there, and after that we have used pipe and then t, then temp ssh, and once this part is done, then we have a greater than symbol, then dev null, termination, and done. So command is correct. So what I can do next here is I can just try one more time, open a new tab, or I will do the same here, SSH. I will split vertically this thing this time. Try to do SSH one more time. So SSH, we have this NEIL nil at the rate tenet.stb, and we have a password called opera, OPERA. Then we have 2112. Okay, so we still again logging as a user, now sudo minus l. Let me try to run this file. Copy this one, and we can use sudo. So let me just try sudo command and then paste and check if we can get anything. So it's telling error in adding root Ubuntu authorized key file, and let me try once again. See, we successful logged in as a root. So it means couple of time we need to run this command, okay, and then okay, we'll get a root prompt. So you can see I had run, I think, around 3 to 4 times, and I successfully get the root console. That's how you approach this machine. Okay, so pen testing, as I mentioned, is not easy, but if you are good, if you have a good technical knowledge, and if you are good in Linux, Bash scripting, Python, so I think this thing, okay, is very easy for you. So you require everything, okay, in order to understand like how the architecture work, how the tool work, and based on the tools and technique, okay, we need to work on this. I hope this video is informative for you. Thank you for watching the video. Have a great day ahead. See you soon in the next episode.